I'm now reading from the chapter Rolled and Cut. And this headnote part of it had to be cut because it was long and for the book design, so now you get to hear the whole thing as it had been intended. Dry Augen. The first time I met author and baking expert Flo Breaker was the second conference of the International Association of Culinary Professionals in New York City. Flo was planning a special demonstration of her famous miniatures. She began her talk with laughter when most people would have been crying. She told us that all her prep for the demo was locked in the hotel refrigerator, and no one there had the key, so she would not be able to show us anything. But luckily, the samples she brought were not under refrigeration and would be passed out for all of us to share. By the end of her talk, I had totally fallen in love with this charming and charismatic fellow baker, and I was determined to snag one of her Dry Augen miniatures. I succeeded, and it was memorably perfect. Flo went on to become president of the IACP and co-founder of the Baker's Dozen Baking Club, as well as a close friend. Dry Augen in German is German for 3 eyes, referring to the 3 little holes in the delicate almond and cinnamon shortbread cookies. Now here's another special story, and this one completely got in, or was kept in. Scarlet Raspberry Linzer Hearts. I treasure my copy of the Silver Palette and the special inscription from my longtime friend Sheila Lukens. Quote, "With great love, dear Rose, do have a great amount of pleasure with our book." These Linzer Hearts, adapted from Sheila's recipe, are the most tender of all cookies because the dough contains a combination of cornstarch and flour, powdered sugar rather than granulated, and a high amount of nuts and butter. The dough is so soft that it requires many trips back and forth to the refrigerator to firm up for shaping, but that is so worth it. The recipe makes a large amount, but it is fine to make just half or to freeze some of the dough to bake at a later time. This is a cookie I'll be making again and again in the years to come, and I'm sure you will too. Chocolate Palmiers. When I was writing the foreword to Erin Jean McDowell's first book, The Fearless Baker, this stunning cookie caught my eye, and I couldn't resist rising to the challenge of making chocolate puff pastry. Erin's instructions were so spot on, it was a thrill to make the dough, and the cookies came out absolutely perfectly. They are crisp, flaky, and deeply chocolatey. This is one amazing cookie from one amazing baker friend and colleague. And by the way, she styled the cookies for all the cookies for this book with her assistant, Katie. And of course, they're perfect because this was her cookie. And finally, this sounds a little funny, but bona fides. When I was writing Rose's Christmas Cookies many years ago, my brother Michael, who owned several stores in the San Francisco Bay Area, called Pet Food Express, insisted that I include a cookie for dogs, saying his customers love their dogs so much that they expressed a desire to make them treats. The original recipe was given to me by a family friend, Barbara Vanderbilt. My brother now owns more than 60 stores, so he must know what dogs and their owners value. I can't wait to read the next chapter Headnotes. This is so fun to revisit the book and share with you.